Again, you're going to find the zeros of a function. Only this time it will be a two-part function, not just one expression. To find the zeros of a function. In this problem, you have x squared plus 0x minus 121. That's a quantity by itself multiplied against the quantity of x plus 9. It says 1x, the computer generates that automatically, but you know it should be just x plus 9. You have to do what you did yesterday, except you have two different parts to look at. And the first part is this. You have to factor that out. You need two numbers that multiply to get a negative 121 and add to get 0. Multiply to get negative 121 and add to get 0. The numbers are negative 11 and positive 11, and if you can find the numbers and their signs, there's no need to even use the sign chart that I gave you yesterday. If you know it's plus 11 and negative 11, that's how you put them in. So you have x plus 11, x minus 11. On the back end, you still have x plus 9. So now you have three things to set equal to 0. So you have x plus 11 equals 0, x minus 11 equals 0, x plus 9 equals 0. And solve each one. So you have a negative 11, positive 11, and a negative 9. The function is x squared minus 22x plus 120. That quantity multiplied against the quantity 9x plus 36. So we're going to start with the first one. And up here you'll notice in some of these problems you have a small green triangle. That means nothing. That's just from the computer in the Excel spreadsheet. So we want to see if we can break up the first part into two quantities. You need two numbers that multiply to get 120, but they have to add to get a negative 22. What must the signs be in order to multiply to get a positive and add to get a negative? What must they be? Negative, negative. So you have x, x. So you're going to have two negative numbers that you'll be putting in. Now find those numbers. The numbers are negative 10, negative 12, and remember that you've already taken care of the signs here. Do not write negative 12 in this blank spot. It's not minus a negative 12. The sign takes care of it. Minus 12, minus 10. And then you still have 9x plus 36 out here. So we have three things that we have to set equal to 0. That would be x minus 12 equals 0, x minus 10 equals 0, and 9x plus 36 equals 0. So here you're going to end up with positive 12. This is positive 10. And you're going to have 9x equals a negative 36. Move the 36 to the right, change the sign. Negative 36 over 9 comes down to be a negative 4. So you have 12, 10, and negative 4. For this problem, we're going to have to break up the first quantity, and the way you can do that is a plus 12 x minus 4, and then negative 4x minus 16 stays along. Now you have to set each one equal to 0, so x plus 12 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, and negative 4x minus 16 equals 0. This one is negative 12, this one is positive 4, this one is negative 4x equals 16, and 16 divided by negative 4 comes out to be negative 4. So your answers are negative 12, 4, and negative 4. Let's break up the first quantity as this. We need two numbers that multiply to get 12 and add to get 13. That would be 1 and 12. And then you have negative 5x minus 35 on the back end. You'll need x plus 1 equals 0, x plus 12 equals 0, negative 5x minus 35 equals 0. So this is a negative 1, this is a negative 12, this is negative 5x equals 35, and divide 35 by negative 5 to come up with negative 7. So it should be negative 1, negative 12, negative 7. Let's break up the first quantity as two quantities in which we need two numbers that multiply to get a negative 2 and add to get a negative 1. That would be a positive 1 and a negative 2. They multiply to get negative 2, they add to get negative 1. And of course you still have 6x plus 54 out here on the end. So you need x plus 1 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, 6x plus 54 equals 0. So negative 1, 2, and 6x equals negative 54. Divide negative 54 by 6 and get a negative 9. So negative 1, 2, negative 9.